My name is Khala Asifdar. I am the Head of Careers and Partnerships at Siram College. We are a partner college with the University of Salford, and today we're going to be talking about partnerships and generally just having a discussion with my colleagues about how far we've come with the University of Salford Level 6 top-up program. I'd like my colleagues to introduce themselves. So Raza, maybe you start first from Siram.
Thank you, Khala. My name is Raza Sumro, and I am Head of Higher Education and Academic Quality.
Thank you so much, Raza. Maria, do you want to go from Salford?
Sure. My name's Maria Kutar. I'm Director of Undergraduate Business Programmes at the University of Salford Business School.
Oh, welcome to our podcast.
My name is Nigat Shaheen. I'm the link tutor from University of Salford, Salford Business School, and working with Siram in this partnership.
Yeah, well, we're very lucky to have the team at Salford. I just want to start with how far we've come, how we began. And if I could ask you, Nigat, when we started, there were obviously challenges, nervous energy, because a partnership like Lynn always says, which is your director of recruitment, and we had a podcast earlier and she said it's almost like a blind date you're going into. You meet the partner university, college, team, and you get to know the people that is behind the team. We were very happy to have partnered with Salford because obviously we saw some shared vision. So just to touch base, what were the things that you saw that were positives when you met the team at the other side?
Some of your positives that I saw was we were working with a UK partner. Previously, Salford Business School works with a lot of international partners. So the positive was we're going to work with someone within the UK. So it was a little bit like a blind date, but it was like, okay, it's a blind date with somebody from here, so it should be a lot more smoother. So it was about the opportunities that we could bring, and we could gain from yourselves from being two different ends of the UK. Very much about how can we help your students and you guys grow as an institution, but also for us to learn best practice from yourself to see what it's like to teach a different diverse set of students. So from that widening participation angle, you've got diverse students, we've got diverse students, different, I'd say, demographics age-wise, but opportunities for learning a lot. So that was something we were very, very much looking forward to actually doing.
And keen on. So Maria, for example, if we talk about the partnership in general, I've had that conversation with the team in the partnership office as well, but why do you think Siram was the kind of college or the choice by Salford? I'm sure this is a wider question for the team, but generally.
Absolutely. And I think it's been quite important during the development of the partnership to find partners who have the same shared values as we do as a university. So at Salford, absolutely central to what we do, and this has its roots back to our initial focus as a technical college, who were here to benefit the community, and that's underpinned the journey that we've gone on to where we are now in 2025, that commitment to social justice. Widening participation is absolutely central. What we focus on at Salford is recognising potential in students. What we aim to do is to take that potential, help students to achieve the best things that they can, and that's how, with education, you can transform lives. And I think it's interesting, at the beginning we kind of touched on the idea that this is a little bit like going on a blind date. I think I'd frame it slightly differently, or from my point of joining the partnership, it felt a little bit more like an arranged marriage. Somebody's done all of the due diligence in the background. They have found the partnership office have found a partner who shares our values, who has shared goals around what we want to achieve for students at this level of study, and then at the point of starting within the school to work on the partnership, it's all about relationship building for a long-term commitment.
Yes, and I think like any other partnerships, be it corporate, domestic, anywhere, mostly we look at the kind of the vision that we have. Where do we want to be in the next 5, 10, 20 20 years, and more importantly, shared values. I think that's something that sort of everyone could see that's coming together. So I am going to take you guys down memory lane a bit, because it's been almost 1 year now. The partnership, of course, was done in record time, which is something that both university and the college are very proud of. And I'm going to just ask Raza, for the students at SIRM, what did that look like as an opportunity? And maybe give us a few, pointers, good practice that you felt was what the students needed, having done the level 5 now.
Yeah. I guess a lot of students we currently have on the program are coming from HNDs, which we taught. And then I was the one of their module leaders in innovation and entrepreneurship. And I was also one of their unit tutors when I was teaching them HND. So I could definitely see the transformation.
Progression.
When they started with us, and when they started HND with us, and then they started this program. And even when I was teaching them this module, and some of the activities that included, let's say, a Padlet activity where they were asked to, share their activity on a Padlet, and the Padlet was shared with the same students who are working here in Salford. That was something amazing. So they could see each other's
in
work in real time. That was kind of a collaboration between myself as a module leader at SIRM and our module leader here, Gabby. And we worked really closely. We shared best practices. We did a lot of activities, and we shared the responses with each other as module leaders. So we could clearly see that no matter where the students are, I mean, they are from different diverse backgrounds, but we could see that they were meeting at a point, and sometimes it was exceeding. So it was really exciting, not for just the students, but for us as a staff members who were directly involved in the teaching and learning.
That's wonderful to hear, because just to sort of evidence it here, that as a partner, we saw a lot of hand-holding initially, because that was what was required. Because, now that we're 1 year into the partnership, I think it's very important to recognize all the milestones that we've achieved. And more importantly, I think the kind of good practices that have helped us reach where we are. So, Niket, if you were to sort of count or just give us a few examples of the things that you were initially able to set up for us, because I do remember us going through a few challenges, which anyone would, setting up a new partnership and setting up a level 6 program. What were the things that you thought really helped us?
I think what really worked, I wouldn't call it hand-holding, I'd call it scaffolding, making sure that you are supported along the way. I think early on, what really worked is the Salford team had its own team that were going to deliver and manage on that program. So we did actually on-site visit. So we came to actually meet your module leads and your team. And I think that made a really good in terms of communication and broke down barriers. On top of that, what also did help is I set up weekly meetings with your link tutor at the other end. And that talked about some of your operational issues, your day-to-day issues, and we could actually iron them out whilst we're having these conversations. Because some of them were sometimes not even issues, it was just something like, I can't access somewhere, how do I look at something? And some of your day-to-day, how do I deliver this? So that context and that content was really, really good. And also what I really did like is the fact that we took our module teams for T1 and then we took them again for T2. So the module leaders...
I think that was brilliant.
I think what was good is they were able to give your vision to your module leads in terms of what the module's about, what the assessment's about, and what we're looking for in terms of student experience within that module. And I think that really worked. And I think that ongoing collaboration's gone really well, and that scaffolding then reduced. So my weekly meetings then moved into a monthly meeting, and then it started becoming as and when needed. I mean, we've recently just had our joint board of study, and the students were giving some really positive feedback in terms of the experience of doing a top up program with a partner, and it looks like they actually did enjoy themselves.
Yeah, they did. The feedback was great. I was a part of it, and I heard the students speak, and just like Raza was saying earlier, if you've seen them come into the level 5 program, and then that real-time progression is always you're very proud to see. And then soon, hopefully, we'll see them graduate as well. Raza, we've talked about the students and how this was a progression, or it was an additional value to the students. What about the staff? So if you could speak about the team at CIRM, what do you think were the learnings for you and your team?
Yeah, that's a very good question for not just the students who got this opportunity to get this top up after their HND, but the staff who were involved in HND teaching. They got this opportunity to now work with university, work with module leaders, and as Nigat mentioned, that the staff not only came for just the first semester module, but they also came in again for the next. So it was kind of a preparation for us and to see what to expect. That capacity building supported the narrative of not just for the students to develop themselves, but also the staff members, that they were prepared, we knew exactly what to deliver in the classroom. And even like if I'm supposed to start a new module next week, I had a meeting with my module leader, and we spoke for like quite some time, and then we made sure everything we understand. We shared assignment briefs, we looked at the assessment strategy. So coming back to your question, the staff, including myself, who was part of the whole delivery, we got to know that, that in HNDs, this is what we do as assessment strategies, this is how it works. But as soon as we joined in this program, our vision for understanding the assessment strategies, how to work with students, how to work on coursework was completely changed. And then that has actually helped us. And the teachers who are actually teaching still in HNDs can now bring in that information and knowledge which they've gained from this program into their HND. So overall, I guess the SIRM, the teaching staff has developed themselves alongside not just students and staff, also now are doing a quality work when it comes to teaching, learning themselves and developing themselves. I have recently got one of our external teachers who are teaching both HNDs and Salford program. He was so excited. He said, now I have more understanding of how I can use this information which I learned from here. Like he was before just doing lectures in HNDs. Now he was part of some seminars, he was part of some lectures. He understood like how he can work on developing some activities for students in his lectures for HND, and he shared his best practice with me. So I was so excited to see that how it's a two-way traffic for our staff members, that they are learning and sharing their best practices.
And it's just greater impact. That's what I always believe in. And I see a sort of an emerging theme, which is communication, I think, is key, where it's cohesive, we're working together, you're learning. That's brilliant. So, Mario, if I could come to you. So, where do you see this moving forward? And more importantly, before I move into that, careers and employability is something that, because they're adult learners, some of them are working with us, and they're working adults. It is the key theme moving forward for us as well. So how do you think that the University of Salford can support that, and in the partnership, how do you see that moving forward?
So I think from the careers and employability point of view, what's really important to us is the way that that's embedded into our curriculum design. One of the areas of focus when we developed the business management programs as a suite of programs was to ensure that built into the curriculum at level 6, we incorporate the support and the impetus for students to develop their own professional identity and their career pathway to help them as they move out of university. So we see that in the leadership and management module, where students are working to develop and understand what their pathway to becoming professionals will be, and to develop their leadership skills to support them in the future. And one of the things that was key in that design was thinking about developing leadership skills that students will be able to apply no matter where they are in an organisation. So not just setting students up to be managers, but setting them up to be able to contribute as leaders to whatever role they are doing. And that will help them if they're working in other organisations, but also if they're setting up their own businesses or developing their own businesses. Those skills are absolutely central. In order to deliver that, we're leaning on some of the support that we have from our own central careers and employability team, as well as some of the other external partnerships that we have with organisations like the Chartered Institute of Management. So those things feed in, and I think this is interesting that that's one of the benefits of working with the university, is that you're now part of our other partnerships as well. So we become kind of an ecosystem that is able to bring those benefits back to the individual students.
Yes, I think that's brilliant. That's exactly what partnerships are supposed to be about, the greater impact, and obviously us benefiting as Serum, benefiting not only the staff, the students, from what the university sort of brings in when it comes to curriculum. It could be careers and employability, just a larger picture in general. And I think it's a very good snapshot of 1 year where I feel that if somebody was to sort of study this as a best case scenario, would just be great examples. Hopefully, once the students graduate, we could sort of journey back to that as well in the future.
Can I, if I
please,
jump in? Because absolutely, I think this year has been so important to set the foundations. Having gone from setting up a partnership in record time, which is a fantastic achievement in itself and demonstrates the commitment from both Serum and the University of Salford, but then being able to set up the teaching of your first trimester. That Naget's already touched on the importance of having those face-to-face visits, setting up the partnership. The resource that was committed from both sides in terms of the time, as well as the investment into travel and so on, has been really important, because that's now got a really solid foundation of the staff knowing who each other are and who they can lean on. And we are now able to start to build on that in terms of the future of the partnership. This has been really, I think, quite unique to see that every person involved in this partnership has been really committed to making it work, not just for exactly what we're doing now, but because we want to be able to see it develop as we move on in the future. So we've now got we were able to say that we've got Leicester campus will be joining the partnership, or part of the partnership, from 2026, and we've got a foundation that will allow us to add on new programs and to continue to develop in the future. And
I think that organic way of how we've developed and grown, because of everything Niket has said, and Maria and Raza, the foundation was set up in a way where now we can now see the growth in a way where it's more sustainable, and there's a lot of learning on both sides. So it's just music to anyone's ears who's worked in partnerships. I would want to sort of, like I said, look at us as best practice or a successful ecosystem or nucleus that worked. That'd be great. Just ending this with, if I was to ask you guys to say one thing that you've learned from the partnership and has been your takeaway from this, what would that be? And I'll start with Niket.
For me, the one thing would be collaboration. So working together. I found that is the one thing that has actually made this partnership succeed. The time that's been put into it, we know it was quite a fast partnership, but I think the collaboration from both sides to understand that we've got shared values and what the vision of this partnership is. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It adds on to your question going forward. How further does this partnership go? Because it's not only about the students, as we've said, but also what Raza said. It's about the staff. So how can we nurture and grow staff and students at the same time? Because it's a journey for the students. It's as Raza said. It's really it's a really fantastic feeling to see a student who walks in. Sometimes for us at foundation year and sometimes at level 4, but then when you see them walk across the graduation stage, it's just amazing. You just get goosebumps just seeing that. And then when you see them actually walk into graduate roles, that's just another experience. But I think on top of that, it's also about, from our focus on teaching and learning, how do your staff members grow, and how can we support them to make sure that they actually do grow to become more pedagogy focused and more research focused. teachers and able to pass that knowledge on to your students. So hopefully, so my key thing is it's collaboration, working together.
Excellent. Very well said, though, Niket. And Raza, what would be your take from this partnership? Because you've been with it from day one, so.
Yeah, well said by Nigat already. I will add to that it's collaboration plus the transformation for both students and staff members. The opportunity, a lot of students, they don't realize, and I mean, when I go into classroom, I do try to mention that you guys have this opportunity knocking at your door. You should make most of it. And when we try to, ask them that, there is this opportunity, let's go to Salford, visit your colleagues, program leads, and then the team there, look at the campus, and then they get that experience. A lot of them, they do realize when they come here, they visit here, and then they see what they are getting. So I guess it's a kind of a transformation, I would say, for both students and for staff members. They are also learning. So yeah, it's an amazing opportunity for both of them. Yeah.
Well, there's collaboration, there's opportunity, Maria.
And I think to build on that, I would say commitment to excellence has been absolutely central. I think thinking back to when I first discussed the partnership with Lynn, when it was still in its embryonic stages, and one of the things we both said actually was that it was really exciting to be involved in a partnership from its very inception because of the opportunity that provided to make sure that we did everything properly in terms of the background work that the university did, but then in terms of setting up the actual day-to-day relationships of the partnership, both for staff and for students. So the commitment to visits, for example, so that the students can see and feel that they are part of the university is absolutely central to what we're doing. And I think that commitment to excellence is evident across all of the staff. We've been so impressed with the relationships that module teams have been able to build, as well as, for example, our partnership administrator with your teams at Serum. And that then feeds down into the students, and it's the bit that we really want to engender in them as well, is that commitment to excellence for themselves to help them to achieve the best they can.
Excellent. I will just end at one thing, which is obviously collaboration, opportunity, commitment to excellence. And I think what I've seen from my vantage point as the head of partnerships, and I'm sure Salford would agree, is shared passion. Because I think that all of us just want the student experience to be excellent and at par with parity. Both sides is the same. Similar, part of the reason why we're here today as well is that the students have come to visit the Salford, University of Salford here. And I think that is what is the secret sauce to success for a partnership, if anybody wants that. And thank you very much, everyone. So I'd like to end the podcast with that. And thank you very much for watching.